Today, we started looking at like trend lines yesterday. What we're going to do today is we're going to start getting the equations for those trend lines, or the equation for the line of best fit. So we're going to use stuff from our Desmos again. Our X1, Y1 with a table. So you can go ahead, click the little plus sign on Desmos, get a table. And we're going to use the Y1 squiggle line MX1 plus B, right? All right, so here's what we got. I've got a scatter plot here. Talks about number of items, number of minutes. They already drew the line. For today, that's what's going to happen, okay? The line's already going to be there. We'll have to get it where the line's not there. We'll do that probably maybe starting tomorrow, depending on how today goes. But when the line's there, it makes it a little bit easier to work with. So what we're doing is we are looking for where that line is going through corners. Okay? So for this one, I have 4 places where it's going through a corner. This one happens to start right there at the origin. Looks like there is through a corner. That dot kind of gets in the way, but right there is through a corner. Right there is through a corner. Okay? Yep. So we're going to take those ordered pairs, and we can put them into the table. Y'all, how many ordered pairs do we need to get an equation?
2.
Just 2. So when the line's already there, we can use just 2. When the line's not there, you'll see tomorrow we're going to use more of them, okay? But for today, we use 2 of them. So this first dot, that's the origin. That's going to be an easy one to use in this case. That's 0, 0. So y'all go ahead, put 0, 0 into your tables. I'm not going to switch back and forth to Desmos today or do a split screen. We'll just do it this way. Then, it doesn't matter which one of the other points I used. So I'm going to use just that one right there, okay? Now, here's where some of y'all might have a little bit of an issue. We've got to make sure the X's are in the X column, the Y's are in the Y column. So for that point that I just highlighted, what's the X value? 10 is the X value. X-axis is the one going across horizontally from left to right. Y-axis is going up and down. The Y value is 5. All right, so we got X value of 10, Y value of 5. And like I said, we just need 2 points. So go ahead, Y1, a little squiggle line, MX1 plus B. And what that's going to give you is that's going to give you some like R stuff that we don't use for this. So what do we get from that? 0.5. Anybody know what that is? Is a fraction. 1/2. So I'm going to write it with the decimal like they had. But yeah, it's a half X, and our Y-intercept, or B, was 0. So if you saw that as an answer choice, it might just say Y equals 1/2 X. Okay? Plus 0 doesn't matter, right? A lot of these won't be plus 0 though, so they'll have plus something else. And then slope, it depends on what they're talking about. This one's talking about items and minutes, so it could be fractions or decimals. If it's talking about money, usually money is going to mean you're going to work with decimals. So it just kind of depends on the context of the problem. Any questions on that? All right, so let's try another one. All right, so we got this one here. I don't have any labels on the X and Y axis. scatter plot. Hey, what kind of association is that? Negative. That's a negative. To do these lines, we need either a positive or negative linear association. All right, so y'all go ahead. Enter it into your tables, get your equation. All right, Nevaeh, what you got? Yeah. All right, so she said y equals negative 1/3 x plus 8. So we got y equals negative 1/3 x plus 8. We said it was a negative trend line, right? So that affects the slope. Slope should be negative. Y'all, that line crosses the y-axis. Right up here at 8, right? So that's with the plus 8. If you put your points into the table, x values are going first. So for this first dot, my x value there is 0. Y value is 8. For the next point, this one right here, I'd have 3 and 7. If I use this one here, it would be 6 and 6. Y'all that get your x's and y's mixed up, using the one that had the 2 6's would have helped. And then we got 9 and 5. Yeah, and like I said, how many of these points do we need to use? 2. So it doesn't matter which one of these 2 we use. You just got to use 2 of them, but you got to put it in correctly, right? Any questions on that? Where we get what? All right, so when you put this in, it said m equals negative 0.333, right? 0.3 repeating is 1/3. And then it's a negative, so. Any questions? Any other questions on that one? Let's go with that then. If you get a decimal, like you would on this one, and the answer choices are fractions, all you have to do is check the answer choices until you find the one that matches that fraction. If the choice had 1/3, and you put 1/3 into Desmos, it'll give you the 0.3 repeating. If an answer choice had 3/4 and you put that in, it'll give you 0.75. All right, so that's a way you can always check if it gives you the opposite one.